अब आते हैं बड़े बापू पे सर, ये तो मेन है।
Yeah.
अभी यूके का क्या है सर? आई मीन आई नो वी कैन गेट इनटू अ लॉट मोर, बट यूके
Yeah,
क्या
but
है?
UK
यूके का
one
अपना
of
ही है
the
सर।
no, वो तो 52nd province of US है ना।
सर अब वो 52nd प्रोविंस है कि 30th स्टेट है, वो तो
नहीं, वो अब 30th स्टेट बनने में थोड़ा टाइम है।
टाइम
अभी
है।
भी वो उसका एक प्रोविंस चल रहा है। बन जाएगा, बनने में टाइम नहीं है, बट
टाइम
बनने के
लगेगा बट
पहले उसका ब्रिटेन का काफी टूटना है ना।
हाँ,
You never
लेट्स
know. Even the Midlands may break away as Northumbria. People may not know the actual Midlands, which is supposed to be one of the poorest areas of England,
यूके।
which is bordering Scotland. Its ancient name is Northumbria.
The crown always had a lot of resistance from that area.
Yeah,
The whole
yeah.
the whole Catholic Protestant fight that used to happen was mainly in this space. So it's been purposefully left poor, by the way. So
It's too close to Scots.
हाँ, तो ये थोड़ा सा सर
Yeah,
आई
they
जस्ट
went.
कवर
अच्छी बात है
एम्बेसी
महात्मा
एम्बेसी।
गांधी के। See, I call him Gandhi ji.
हाँ,
I
महात्मा
would
का था बहुत
ask people to pardon me. Reason being, the term Mahatma was given to him, I think, if I remember, in the 1937 Congress meeting, where a letter was issued that henceforth everybody will call him a Mahatma. I'm sorry, I don't accept Congress Party's directive. So for me, he's Gandhi ji, father of the nation. You're telling, okay, theek hai, I'll accept that. Mahatma,
दूर की बात है।
I don't, because in our culture, Mahatma का मतलब अलग होता है.
And guys, all this happens in San Francisco Bay Area and all that area. That's the wokest area of the US.
The
So
most interesting is that clip. You put that, no? Or you've
वो
taken a snapshot of that.
snapshot डाला है सर, clip I'll put, they'll very put a
Yeah, yeah.
copyright strike and take it off. So
Snapshot hai where they call Indian occupied Punjab.
guys, anybody wants that clip, connect with me. Email ID is down there in the description. You can join the WhatsApp group, I'll send it there. You can
And
join the
it'll
Telegram
say,
group, I'll post it there. Check it out.
yeah, yeah. This is the
अब
thing. Albert
अब आपके
Einstein
ऊपर है ये
Institute.
थोड़ा सा मेरे लेवल के ऊपर है
Yeah.
ये।
Albert Einstein, we all know, was a physicist, theory of relativity, E is equal to mc square, ये सारा कुछ किया. This institute in Boston has nothing to do with physics. It is ways and means of how to overthrow an elected government. Though after that, they have also covered it up dictatorship and all. It depends. You can call anybody a dictator, like our people are calling our prime minister a dictator. So it is the how to overthrow. इसी का एक और है ना पूरा, वो बुकलेट्स वगैरह हैं पूरे, क्या क्या
हाँ
देता
जी।
है. 1983 में शुरू किया है. And this is 198 methods of non-violent action. Now, I had these used to be a whole lot of booklets. I got to know about it in 2003-4 when I was based in Tajikistan. I registered with them, and they sent me a whole lot of books, which I donated to our two sets they had. To I gave it to MEA and I gave it to our INT
I just
agency.
registered, so I'm awaiting my set.
नहीं, आजकल वो पैसे मांगते हैं. That I got free of cost.
नहीं, मेरे को कुछ आया है सर, वी विल सेंड यू अ वेलकम पैकेज और समथिंग लाइक दैट.
No,
सो
no, no. I got everything. वो जीन छाप का किताब विताब सब, everything, whatever publications they had, free of cost. See, the concept is very easy, and we should also be very clear of how the Congress also worked, because they had looked at how Gandhiji had worked. And please remember, behind the Congress were big business houses, Birlas and Bajaj, and to a large extent Tatas. The concept was that ideologically there will be only about 10 to 15% of the people with you. Others are not going to be with you. Everybody comes when you give him money. So you're told, okay, you'll be given X amount of money, your living, your stay, your food, everything taken care of. Over and above that, for every day that you are with me, you'll be given this much amount of money. People come and join. And then you say the crowd was millions. Obviously, out of the million, maybe 100, 200 odd or 2,000 odd may have been your people. Rest are all paid. So when we talk of salt Padyatra, keep that in mind. How many were actually against that salt tax? Your people were illiterate at that time, which the Britishers had made sure. Before they brought in the British system, India's level of education was 70% across the board. There was no caste system and all. Caste system was brought in by the Britishers.
Exactly.
1830 something was the first census when they brought in caste. And they brought in your caste as a line that if you're a Brahmin, you can only be a Brahmin. Prior to that, it was not so. Please. Okay. And the term Dravidian was brought in by the Britishers. There's nothing called Dravidian. It was all Dakshin, which was corrupted by the Muslims who had come from Central Asia and other places. And in that, they called it Dakkan. Dakkan was Dakshin. Okay. So there was Dakshin Bharat, there was Uttar Bharat. That's it. There's no term. You can take out any of your scriptures in any language. You will not get the term Dravidian till the 19th century. The term Dravidian, caste, Varna is not caste. Varna is Vibhajan, Vibhag, departments. That is Varna. Varna means आपके काबिलियत के मुताबिक who are you? What are you? Do you have the expertise in? वो तो ब्रिटिशर्स ने अपना कास्ट बना के लकीर बना दिया कि भाई ये है ये है ये है. अगर आप OBC, all these were things which were brought in by the Britishers and firmed in by Gandhiji and all the others, Harijan, ye Dalit. Look at your famous the Magad Empire, Nand, before Chandragupta Maurya, Nand,
also
who had such a big empire. Who was he? He was the Baba's son, yeah. But he had the capacity to overthrow the then king, and he had his kingdom. Okay, so we are diverging. If you look at the Yellow Revolution, Ukraine, most of the people were just given, they went there, they were given those yellow dress to wear, and that's it. That you paid the money. That is how all these things are done. Like, let's take अपना इसका भारत जोड़ो यात्रा, famous of Rahul Gandhi, 150 air conditioned trailers. पैसे कहाँ से आए यार? ट्रेलर किसने बना के दिया? ऐसे तो ट्रेलर तुमको मिलते नहीं है जिसपे आपके पास कंटेनर लगा हुआ है, AC लगा हुआ है. Who converted all those?
Why farmers protest? Where did all the John Deere tractors come from?
Pardon?
During the farmers protest, where did all those brand new John Deere tractors come from?
New tractors and all, John Deere tractors and all came. अभी ये गया था, wherever he would park, सड़क में पार्क करते थे. बिजली कहाँ से आई? किसने नेटवर्क लेआउट किया था? You got to look into this also. The logistics part, that is the funding which comes from.
Yeah.
And that has been tracked. And that is why this was supposed to go. And now you find that he is not able to do his east to west yatra. West to east yatra.
West to east.
पैसे अटक गए. पैसे अटक गए ना. This is the thing in int. Don't hit immediately. Let the skeletons tumble out of the cupboard, then पकड़ लो सबको. तो वहीं चौपट हो जाता है. Now he has to think new ways to do it.
And sometimes you keep the big guy outside because he's going to keep in touch with all his comrades. You catch the comrade, the big guy is as if he's useless.
This chap who's running around now, क्या नाम है उसका यार? That
APS.
हाँ, APS. APS is all over. तो उसके नेटवर्क खुल गया पूरा. जब ऐसे मंदबुद्धि वाले को रखोगे वहां पे, जिसको कुछ अकल नहीं आता, कुछ पता नहीं है, दुबई में बैठ के पता नहीं क्या कर रहा था, जो उसको बुलाया यहाँ पे, तो अब यही होता है ना. इट इज समथिंग लाइक रिहाना. ओके, ठीक है, शी इज अ बिग सिंगर एंड अदर थिंग्स. on these issues they don't have that kind of thought ना. तो उसी ने तो पूरा टूल किट ही एक्सपोज कर दिया तुम्हारा. टूल किट बंद हो गया. अब देख लो फ्रांस में इतना पेंशन के स्ट्राइक्स हो रहे हैं. I really don't know why. All he has done is extended the retirement age by 2 years. And people are going on strike for having more number of years to work and earn the money. And something doesn't gel. It doesn't gel. कि 2 साल तुमने और सर्विस बढ़ा दिया है, from 62 to 64 years is the retirement age. So you're not going to be having pension, you're going to get salary. And when you retire, you will get more lump sum money. You're going on strike for that. Something doesn't gel.
Absolutely.
If I go by what I hear on all their French channel and reports, to me something doesn't gel.
This is the second page of it.
No, this is how they use. And I'm sure the Anglo-Saxons must be doing it to cut macaron to size.
Guys, this is something freely available on the website. Please go there, download this stuff, study it out. It's all there.
तुमको मिल जाएगा यार, how to organize strikes, how to do it, how to hit the economic centers, कैसे करना, everything is there in that. ये toolkit इसी से बना है यार.
And then you go back and see हमारे जो प्रोटेस्ट हो रहे हैं कहाँ पर, कौन से एंगल से वो स्टार्ट करा है उन्होंने. You'll be able to come to know.
And you'll get to know यार. रोज रेवोल्यूशन, ये रेवोल्यूशन, वो रेवोल्यूशन, सारा कुछ लेके उसी तरह से करते हैं और पैसा आता है. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट. या इक्वालिटी लैब्स.
ये तो सर इट्स अनरजिस्टर्ड, अननोन, अनहर्ड. एक हिंदुस्तानी को पकड़, लड़की टाइप को पकड़ लेंगे, एंड नो ऑफेंस टू वुमेन, बट दे विल कैच समवन, एक वोकिश टाइप बिठा देंगे और शुरू हो जाएगी.
No, the biggest danger here I find is a lot of movement gaining traction in Tamil Nadu and Kerala who want to break away.
Yeah.
Okay. कि भाई वैसे तोड़ नहीं सकते तो यहाँ से करें. But problem that comes is that these things are not getting traction in a lot of places. Dalit rights activist in US. So you just question them here as if caste is not there and race and caste, racism and casteism is not there in the US, is not there in Christianity. It is runs very deep. There are so many churches in Christianity, and I'm not talking of Protestants and Catholics alone. Within them also there are multiple churches on Jehovah's First Witness and so-and-so's this and so-and-so's that, and एक चर्च को फॉलो करती हो, you can marry within that church only. If you marry outside the church, you are excommunicated from the church. Your entire family is excommunicated from that church. Please remember that. Never forget that. Okay, हम इतना हो हा करते हैं, हमारे बच्चे दूसरों से शादी करते हैं, हम क्या उनको पूरे को मंदिर से आप excommunicate कर देते हो? You don't do that. Here they get excommunicated, by the way. And I have friends who have faced this. Some of whose complete extended family had to go away from that place to some other place. ये है, हम खाप पंचायत के पीछे जाते हैं, इस चर्च के पीछे कभी नहीं बात करेंगे. इंडिया में भी होता है. All these various types of church are in India. Okay. Now you talk of Islam. Islam में भी है caste, runs very deep.
Yeah.
And the caste is based on what kind of job you do. And you're not allowed to marry.
Sikhism में क्या
You're not allowed to marry. Sikh में भी है, Jat Sikh and
which is supposed to be, the so-called narrative is that Sikhism was created to fight all this, and you do it yourself.
You have it.
गुरुओं की बात तो सुन लो.
पापा खालसा है, मरासंस है, और पता नहीं क्या क्या नाम है. And you're not allowed to marry यार. हाँ, इतना नहीं होता सिख में कि भाई आप एक्सकम्युनिकेट कर दो, बातचीत नहीं होता, गुरुद्वारा से फिरते नहीं हो, बट बाकी जगह तो आप वहां से निकल जाते हो यार.
जी.
तो इक्वालिटी लैब कहां से तुमको ट्रैक्शन मिलने वाला है? किस South Asian caste oppressed queer and religious minority communities in ongoing redefinition of South Asian identity across the world. मतलब क्या? Which caste is oppressed? Yes, oppression is there, I don't deny, but it is so many of them. So, क्या बोल रहे हो? किसके लिए तुम बोल रहे हो? South Asian? Why aren't you talking? You are based in US, no? So why don't you talk about the kind of citizenship you are getting out there?
With respect,
How do they look at you?
she's dark looking. I would be very scared if I look like that to go in front of a cop in the US. I mean,
Yeah.
why don't she talk about that?
No. They should be talking of that critical race theory,
उस पे
which
आते हैं.
spreads across economics and everything.
We'll
Yeah.
come to that. Caste
Yeah,
in the
what
United
is
States.
caste recommendations? So caste in survey of caste among South Asian Americans. इनको तो कुछ half of them are, we call them as ABCs, ABCD.
American born
ABCDs.
confused desis.
Yeah, American born confused desis. See, क्या पता लगता है इनको कि क्या है? Are they able to see the kind of problems they themselves or their parents would have faced or their grandparents would have faced when they went there in the 50s and the 60s? Ask them. There is one nice film, Patiala House. Late Rishi Kapoor was the father of Akshay. While the whole film was rewound, people look at it as him wanting to represent England for cricket. But what they miss out in the background of what is running is the kind of oppression that his father had faced when he came to England.
Yeah.
Because of his color and his creed, which has been very nicely depicted out there if you carefully listen to the dialogue. So caste and survey of caste, equality labs, these are how funded by the anti-India people, which use all this. And like I said, caste started first time by the Britishers when they first did the census of India. That was when they brought in the caste within that. Okay. And these are funded by them to make sure that you stay divided. Because united you stand, divided you fall.
Critical race theory, sir.
Yeah.
अब आप ये समझाइए ये क्या है सर? What is this critical race theory? And why I pointed at this Cisco article is that the entire game within India actually picked up because of this.
See, the whole issue is, the critical race theory is that a particular race, as per them, only a particular race is supposed to dominate all fields and would control everything in this globe. What is left unsaid is it is supposed to be the Anglo-Saxons, because this is written in English. It's not written in French or German or Italian. It's written in English. Okay. And so anyone else who tries to rise of any other language will be suppressed by hook or by crook. That is the essence of the critical race theory. That any other race is not supposed to rise up as a competition to this race. And that race, underlying in that, if you read it carefully, is the Anglo-Saxon race. And then you use all these tools to see how you can effectively try and destroy it. All these people keep raising the name of Dr. Ambedkar. Okay. What did he say about reservation? His main thing about reservation was you'll destroy your society. And that was when, because of his objection, they made it for 10 years and it has stuck. Even then he had said, the day you write it, you'll never be able to take it out and you will stay a divided society. That was Baba Saheb Ambedkar's vision, not what these idiots are talking about. Pardon my language. Sorry, they haven't read it. If they've read it, they're trying to sell a lie.
Exactly.
This is the whole issue of.
And this race theory, by the way, guys, has been studied in the World Bank. It is propagated quite hard by the World Economic Forum. You know, this is a limited show that we wanted to keep it at a limited scope. Trust you me, there is so much more that I'm going to get into, because this is actually lit up a fire. And thanks to sir who pointed me into certain directions, which actually got me thinking in a very different line. ये मेरे को छोटा सा दिखाना था सर, आज जो एक बड़ा प्रो इंडिया चैनल बन के घूमता है.
First most is no pro India or anything. See, any channel or any paper, anything to do with media, what you got to see is where is the money coming from, who are the people who are funding it, and that will give you its line of thought. Simple. Oh, caste in the US and caste and ho raha hai in the US, and they're more worried कि भाई Sundar Pichai is the boss of Google, so he should step down and he should go and he should look after the caste. Why should he look after the caste? Yeah, what has he got to do with them?
She was supposed to do a talk in the Google in Hyderabad. When they realized what she's going to talk about, they said, "Bugger off."
Obviously. She is our Greta Thunberg, no?
हाँ, हमारी है. But ये थोड़ी बड़ी है सर. एक हमारी ग्रेटा थुनबर्ग है सर, 11-12 साल की है वो. ट्विटर में काफी दिखती है.
वो है, बट ये उसकी इक्विवेलेंट है ना. वो एनवायरनमेंट के बारे में बात करती है, ये कास्ट के बारे में बात करती है.
सर, USCIRF
क्या बोलो उसके बाद?
We are a country of concern.
The biggest country of concern is the US, yeah. Where other than the white man, they don't bother about anybody else. एक ओबामा को चुपचाप से बना दिया प्रेसिडेंट की, हो बहुत ओपन है. That's it.
Can you imagine the entire South America is open? It's free.
Yeah, बहुत total, बहुत free है यार.
Sir, Central Africa, which Boko Haram is bloody killing people left times in center, is nahi, perfectly fine.
South Africa यार. White area के बाहर तुम step करके चले जाओ, you will get mugged and killed यार.
Mugged and killed. I know, I have friends there, sir.
And it's such an open concern नहीं है, बाकी में concern है, अच्छी बात है.
ये है अरुणिमा भार्गवा.
अपने ही होते हैं. They cover it up by bringing such people, na.
And Arunima Bhargava, by the way, is also part of Equality Labs.
Yeah. They are all कच्चे चिट्ठे सब भरे हुए ना.
All connected.
पैसे के लिए कुछ भी कर देंगे. तो वो करेंगे.
India describes.
Of course, it has to be a particular concern, and India should sanction them. Anybody who's part of that, India and Equality Labs, India should put them on blacklist. If they are OCI, तो उनका OCI cards वगैरह निकाल दो, PIO cards वगैरह निकाल दो, put them on blacklist कि आपको मिलने नहीं वाला कोई वीजा इंडिया में आने के लिए. खत्म बात है. That's the only language they understand.
This is the latest report as of 14th of March 2023. 10 दिन पहले की बात है ये.
वो एंटी कन्वर्जन लॉस के अगेंस्ट जा रहे हैं ना. डर लग रहा है
कि भाई घर वापसी क्यों कर रहे हो तुम. Guys, this is remember one thing, this is how, you know, जो यूके में होता है ना, बेवकूफी होती है. This is how it is set up and done.
This
ये
is how the
organization.
narrative, this is how the basis for narratives start.
Yes.
This is the foundation. Equality Labs, UCIRF Labs, on all these are the ones where they cover up the report and form the basis, and वो टॉमी छू करके देते हैं उनको कि चल लग जा अब काम पे.
Exactly.
और खुद बोलेगा no, this is bad, we don't agree with this. Good cop, bad cop.
ये एम्बेसडर एट लार्ज के बारे में बात करते हैं सर, बट यू नो ही यूज दिस IRF एंड USCIRF. नाम देखो बड़े साथ साथ के हैं. स्टेट डिपार्टमेंट की वेबसाइट पे जाओ, इट सेज भैया दे आर नॉट बाइंडिंग, दे नॉट टुगेदर, एंड द USCIRF इज नॉट बाइंडिंग ऑन द स्टेट डिपार्टमेंट.
कि भाई आपके उसके प्लेटफॉर्म पे क्यों आ रहे हैं?
अगर इट्स नॉट बाइंडिंग, why feature it on the State Department's website?
This, by the way, this slide is made. You can see it should not be on the website. If you're using it, you put it below as a link that you could also see this. That is a separate issue. But it is coming out into your website. The moment it comes in your website, it is part of this. So these are how narratives are built. And which is what I was telling, I have been telling earlier also. We should also start preparing all these and start putting out our own foundations and start creating these reports for the US and the West and the Anglo-Saxon countries and say that point of concern.
And country of particular concern is not a small thing. International sanctions, this, that, and the other. A lot of nonsense.
So here we should flag the concern of whether to get into FTA and other things. They need your market. That's the language they will understand.
ये है सर हमारे ambassador at large. He's an Indian origin guy, by the way, or for international religious freedom. So, and this is his views.
Yeah, करने दो उसको views, हम अपना view डालेंगे.
I mean, I don't care about this issue as per se. I won't want to share my comments about it. Who the hell are you to sit and talk about it?
You're non-entity. You're in US. You talk about what people are doing in US. So we should talk about them. Of course, we are not happy at all. Bangladeshis खाने को नहीं है, श्रीलंका को खाने को नहीं है, पाकिस्तान में खाने को नहीं है, पता नहीं बाहर निकलेंगे कि जिंदा आएंगे कि वापस नहीं है. They are much happier than us. यूक्रेन में तो लड़ाई लग गई है, सब भाग गए हैं. They are much happier than us. Palestine is not a country only. Palestine is not a country only. They keep fighting. लड़ाई Israelis मारते रहते हैं. They are very happy. Russian Federation में आपका कहना है लोग भाग रहे हैं, they are not happy and they are happier than us. And क्या बोलो इनको?
China
is happier. So that is the whole issue. हम अपना निकालें ना. मैं बोल रहा हूं कि हम अपना निकालें इंडेक्स. किसने रोका है? क्यों नहीं करते हम अपना बनाना शुरू करते हैं ना.
We are just above Afghanistan. Ethiopia, Eritrea, जहां पर human right violations की it's a wave of human right violations, but they are very happy.
और टिग्रे से लड़ाई हो रही है, दारफुर में प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, नॉट दारफुर, टिग्रे एंड एरिट्रिया, but they are happier than you.
उसको भी प्रेसिडेंट चिपका दिया, उसको नोबेल पीस प्राइज में नॉमिनेट कर दिया. वो अपना 3 दिन के बाद वो पीस प्राइज सेरेमनी खत्म करके वापस घर गया. उसने वहां वॉर स्टार्ट कर दी.
लड़ाई शुरू हो गई टिग्रे के साथ.
What kind of nonsense is this? Sir, ये तो I mean,
and this is Phoenix, USA. They talking of Indian occupied Punjab. Atrocities in Indian occupied Punjab, and that the police is running after APS. In Indian occupied Punjab is the term used.
Yeah.
And this India should call the US ambassador or whoever is there and just give him a licking and say, first go back and shut this site out. Otherwise, usko to dena hi nahi chahiye. That chap is a bigger idiot who's coming. He has openly said these things when he was there, and he's a very controversial guy. So that Maverick has been given the thing by the vice president, उसको तो यहाँ लटका के रखना चाहिए, बुलाना ही नहीं चाहिए. Till he doesn't listen, it's up to us when we accept his credentials. So here they should be dangled. Credentials should not be accepted. That's my thinking. I don't know what the government will do till they don't pull down this complete Satluj, some news or something. Phoenix. And I'm sure this is propagated by the Khalistanis, Sikhs for Justice or somebody, Babbar Khalsa group, or ISI themselves may be funding this.
So guys, whoever wants to see this video, let me know. I'll send it to you.
We should be also, chalo, theek hai, this is reactive. Why don't we have similar news stations? If they can open the news stations, that's where I like the Chinese 3 warfares. The legal issue is where they study the legal provisions of the country they're going to target, see the loopholes, and through that, enter that country legally. So that you cannot touch them legally. So same way, if they have been able to open this and she can talk of Indian-occupied Punjab, we should talk of Pak-occupied Punjab, Pak-occupied Sindh, Pak-occupied Baluchistan. Just don't leave it anything. Pak-occupied KPK, Pak-occupied Kashmir, Pak-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan. जो नाम लेना है, शुरू कर दो.
US-occupied Mexico.
US-occupied Mexico for California. China occupied Tibet, China occupied Xinjiang, सारा नाम लेना शुरू कर दो. Why are we not proactive in these narratives? And we are seeing how the narratives, what you have laid out beautifully, how the reports are made out as a base for the narratives. And these are the narratives which emanate from there. By Sikhs are being prosecuted, so and so are being prosecuted, Sikh life matters, and so it becomes Indian occupied Punjab.